Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Today, we're going to be focusing on prime and composite numbers. So, let's begin. Our learning objective for today is we are going to identify if a number is prime or composite, and our S to S for today, our first thing is we are going to find factors of the number which we have learned from yesterday on finding factors. Step 2 is if there is only two factors, then it's a prime. And our step 3 is if more than two factors, then it's a composite number. So what is prime and what is a composite number? Before I tell you what they are, let's just go through these examples so that you have an idea of what is a prime and what is a composite number. So example 1 is 15 a prime or composite. So our S to S for today, step 1 is we are going to find factors of the number. So remember, the steps to find factors is first we're going to draw an F so we know that we are looking for factors, and then start with number 1. 1 times the number itself, which is 15, and then continue with number 2, number 3, and so on. Now, can you think of any number when you multiply them? 2 times something gives 15. I don't think there is, so 2 is not a factor of 15. How about 3? 3 times what gives you 15? It's a 5. So 3 times 5 gives 15. Are there any more numbers that when you multiply them together gives 15? Because all I can think of are these four numbers. So factors of 15 are 1, 3, 5, and 15. Now, so we have found the factors of 15. What is step 2? If there is only two factors, then it is a prime. Now, how many factors of 15 have we found? That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 4 factors of 15. Step 3, if more than 2 factors, then it's a composite number. So is 15, we are going to answer this question. Is 15 a prime or composite? Now we know that factors of 15 are 1, 3, 5, and 15, which is more than 2. So 15 is a composite. As simple as that. Next, for example 2, is 19 a prime or composite number? Our S to S on the side. First thing first, we need to find factors of the number. So start with an F. We're going to find factors of 19, starting with 1 times 19. Now, can you think of any more numbers? Or we could start with number 2. 2 times what number gives 19? Are there any number when you multiply them by 2 gives 19? So there are none. So 2 is not a factor of 19. Now you can try with 3. 3 times what gives 19? try to find out what is this number here. Are there any number when you multiply them by 3 gives 19? If not, then 3 is not a factor of 19. Now all I can think of is only 1 times 19. So what are factors of 19? Factors of 19 are 1 and 19. So what's going on here? Let's see our S2S number 2. If there is only 2 factors, then it is a prime. Now, let's see how many factors we have for 19. We have 1, 2. So there are only 2 factors of 19. So what does this mean? We're going to answer this question right here. Is 19 a prime or composite? Now 19, there are 2 factors of 19, 1 and 19. So yes, 19 is prime. There we go. Our last example for today is 2024 a prime or composite? S2S, first thing first, step 1, find factors of the number. So we're going to write down a big F right there, 24, and then start with 1 times 24. That gives you 24. Now, continuing on with number 2, 2 times what gives 24? That's 12. The next one is 3. 3 times what gives 24? That's 8. Next, 4. 4 times what gives 24? That's 6. Now, how about 5? 5 times what gives 24? Are there any numbers that you can think of when 5 multiply the number gives 24? If none, then 5 is not a factor of 24. So it stops right there. Because if you multiply 6 times 4, 4 times 6, they give the same answer, 24. So what are the factors of 24? Factors of 24 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, and 24. So we have found the factors of 24. Step 2, if there is only 2 factors, then it's a prime. And step 3, if there are more than 2 factors, then it's a composite. So how many factors are there for 24? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 factors of 24, and we are going to answer the question right here. Is 24 a prime or composite? So since there are 8 factors here, which is more than 2, so 24 is a composite number. So what is a prime and what is a composite number? Let us differentiate or see the difference between prime and composite numbers. So starting off with 19, the number that we try on just now. So for number 19, the factors are only 1 times 19, which is 1 and 19. 1 and itself. Here, what it means by 1 and itself is 1 and the number itself, which is 19. So there are 2 factors here, 1, 2. So we know if there are 2 factors, then it is a prime. So 19 is a prime number. Next, 15. the number that we found, we tried on just now in one of the examples. So what are the factors of 15? It's 1 times 15 and 3 times 5. So the factors of 15 are 1, 3, 5, and 15. So how many factors are there? It's more than 2 factors. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. So if it's more than 2 factors, then we call it a composite number. So these are the difference between prime and composite number. If it's a prime, then there are only 2 factors, 1 and itself, 2 factors only. If it's more than 2 factors, for example, here 15, 1, 3, 5, and 15, there are 4 factors, then it's a composite number. So this is the difference between prime and composite. Now it's time for you to try. Get a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil and try if 12 is a prime or composite. Remember, our S to S for today is step 1 is we are going to find factors of the number. So starting with a big F and 12 and starting with 1 times 12, and then you carry on to number 2. Is there such thing as 2 times what gives you 12? And then carry on with number 3 times what gives you 12, and so on. And then step 2 would be if there is only 2 factors, then it's called a prime. And if there are more than 2 factors, then it's a composite. So you try to find if 12 is a prime or a composite. Next, find out if 13 is a prime or composite. I have provided the S to S right here on the side for you to refer to. Right, so let's quickly recap our learning objective and our S to S for today. So today we identify if a number is a prime or composite. We already know the difference between prime and composite. So for prime, there are only 2 factors. That's for prime. And for composite, it's more than 2 factors. As simple as that. And our S to S for today is first, we need to find factors of the number. Our step 2 for today is if there is only 2 factors, then we call it a prime. And if there are more than 2 factors, then it's a composite number. So for today's exercise, I've already provided in your home learning pack. It's labeled as prime and composite numbers, and it's also labeled as today's day and date, Wednesday, 12th of January. If you have any problem or any questions, you may contact me on my WhatsApp privately. That's it for today, and good luck everyone.